What's up, primos? Welcome back to Soul Primos. I'm Joe Romero, and today, unfortunately, it's another solo Joello Han Solo episode. Melvin is out there in the world doing his thing. He's out there on the opposite side of the country. Some might say opposite side of the world, doing some crazy things, living the dream, doing his thing, and he will be back very shortly. But today, unfortunately, it's just me and you, and hopefully that's okay. Listen, I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm a sweetie pie. I think so, right? But yes, man. Thank you guys for liking the pod, for sharing the pod, for fucking subscribing to the podcast. We appreciate it very much, and keep doing that. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep commenting. It means the world to us. It makes us feel like we have a fucking, like we're doing something very special. We're doing something that's working. You know what I mean? It always makes us feel good when we see someone commenting, someone sharing it. Thank you for everybody that's following the Instagram, Cousins with Soul, leaving comments, showing love, and DMing us. Listen, sometimes we might not be the best at DMing back, but we always make sure eventually to respond because we get anxious. We don't know what to say sometimes. We get super shy. But I went on live before this podcast, and I was like, "What am I going to talk about?" Because there was some stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I don't know if it was even worthy of a podcast. Worthy of a podcast. So, but some people were asking some really good questions, really good topics. Like the first one, and let's just do our thing, man. Let's chill. Like, listen, if you got a drink, it could be milk, it could be water. Preferably Diet Coke. But if you got a beer, you got some whiskey, man, drink up, pour that shit up. Let's relax. Let's chill. Let's just fucking have a good time, man. The world sometimes is a very dangerous place. The world can be scary. It can be unforgiving. It can be unreliable, honestly. People can be unreliable. A lot of things can be just all over the place. But we try to make it, when you come here to this podcast, you can just have a good time and chill with us. Most of the time it's both of us, but even today, just me and you, baby. We're just chilling. We're just vibing, relaxing. No pressure, no big deal. Like I said, I might not even call this an episode. It might not even be an episode. It might be just like a regular, like a extra thing. It might not be So Primos 95, 96, or 97, or whatever number we're at. It might just be something different. But I went on the Instagram live, and I asked people like, "Hey, what should I even talk about?" Well, I don't really have the greatest topics in mind. Nothing really is crazy happening in my life. But someone asked, Everything Goes _ asked, I would love for you to touch on your thoughts on single motherhood and how you went about starting a relationship with someone with a child. As a single mom, I am curious. And this is a question that I've been asked before, maybe earlier in the pod, in another Q&A. But listen, for me, it was a very easy thing to do. First of all, for me, it was a very easy thing to do because before I started dating my partner, we were friends for a long time. We honestly been friends like since 2013. So a long time. And then we kind of just stopped talking for a while, and then we lived our life. Then we kind of reconnected in 2020. But her daughter at that time was 8 years old, and I got to meet her finally for the first time because I saw her one time when she was a baby, when she was born. But obviously she's not going to remember that shit. But I met her, I reconnected with her mom when she was 8 years old. And we all developed, I was friends with the mom, obviously, but I would start going over a lot because, I don't know, me and my partner always just had this vibe where it's like that friend where, and at first we were just friends, but it was like that friendship where you go years without talking to somebody, and then you start talking to them after 4 years, 5 years of not talking. It's almost like no time has passed. It feels like yesterday you guys were 17 years old, just kicking it, chilling in the backyard. So now that we hung out when we were 25, 26, we started hanging out again, and it was the exact same thing. It felt like we just picked up right where we left off, and then she lives pretty close to me. So I was like, hey, I'm just going to, I used to just pull up all the time when I was younger, and I feel like I kind of want to do that now. So I just started pulling up. But as I started to develop feelings for her, and I started seeing her family, and her daughter, I always held her almost at a pedestal. So her daughter was never like, oh, she's got a kid. That's weird. Because at first we were just friends. So obviously, at first we were just friends. So I was like, of course I want to meet your daughter. Yeah, of course. Of course I want to meet her and talk to her. And I want also to hang out because I just held my partner, who was just my friend. I just cared about her so much. I loved so much about her that even then, I just as just friends, I was like, yeah, of course, I want to. Yeah, we can all watch movies. We can all go eat, yada yada yada. But little by little, it's like as I started to develop romantic feelings for her, like the idea of dating somebody that has a kid, for some guys, it's like it's not a red flag, but it's a deal breaker. They do not want to do. They do not want to deal with it. They can't handle it. They feel like that's not. They're like, no, it can never happen. I'm not going to raise another man's kid. Which I don't know if sometimes I try to understand that perspective, but I think it's just men being too macho, honestly, sometimes. Like being, oh, another man's kid. I'm like, yeah, but that's also your girl's daughter. Also your girl's kid, too. Like, you're so worried about the other man, like, oh, another man's child. I'm like, bro, this is also your girl that you love's kid. So why would that stop you? Like, for me, I've always seen that as a plus. I get this combo. I get this duo. I get this beautiful person and her beautiful daughter. And we all have this beautiful relationship. We have like this little tiny, little cute little family, right? And for me, I just never saw why that was so complicated, why that was so difficult for people to understand, for people to deal with. Like, I always felt like every time I got to hang out with her, I got to hang out with her daughter, and we'd have such a blast, such a good time. And then I would talk to the daughter. I remember one time, one of like the first, like the cutest moment one time, it's like me, when I started going over a lot, we would just be drinking a lot, chilling, playing board games and playing puzzles, or we would like make, a lot of puzzles. And then one time we were chilling, we all love watching movies, but we would always watch a movie. And then I remember one time I was laying down with, her daughter was beside me, and she wasn't my partner at the time, but, she was right next to me. And then we were watching Netflix, and then she fell asleep. And then me and her, might have been 9 years old. We were just watching like Shrek, like a live action Shrek, or like a theatrical or a play that was on Netflix. We're watching Shrek, and we were laughing so much. We were loving the play. We were loving everything, but we were just laughing so much. And we were talking about what was making us laugh, and we were just having a blast. And I remember we were laying down, and then she held onto my finger, right? And then I was like, oh my God, right? She held onto my finger, and then she was laughing, and then I was laughing. I was kind of like in shock. I was like, oh my God, because obviously I loved her, and I was starting to develop like real feelings. Before I even developed real feelings, I was like, bro, this is like one of the greatest human beings that I've ever met in my life. And I really passionately felt that. And then like, that was just as a friend first. Like, this is one of the greatest human beings most pure, gentle, beautiful human beings I've ever met. And then as the romantic feelings came, like, I started to look at her daughter and being like, I feel like how I feel about my niece. Like, when I look at my niece, I'm like, I love you so much. Like, you are one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. And then I remember when she held my finger, and then we just started holding hands, and when we were laughing, and I just remember thinking like, she is so beautiful. Like, they both are so beautiful, and we are having this beautiful moment. And I remember when she woke up, like, I told her the next morning, I'm like, dude, it's killer. When you fall asleep, we just held hands. And it was like one of the most, I never felt like I never thought like, oh, I can never love someone's child or anything. But I just felt like we had a family, even though we weren't even dating or anything. Like, me and my partner at the time, we were just friends. But like, I just felt like, bro, this is so beautiful. And I'm not used to like being in environments where families are lovey-dovey, because my family was, there's a lot of issues with my family. It's kind of coldish. It still is. Like, I'm not really tight with anybody in my family. So it's very, very cold. I come from like a family that's very cold, very traditional Latino, where the dad and mother can be very intense, and there was like a religious aspect on top of like the dad who's very Latino, like hardcore machismo, and also like my brothers having so many issues with each other, and we never really even were tight. So I grew up kind of alone and never really feeling like what love was, or to be accepted was, and where people see you for who you are and they're just like, it's okay, like just be you. I just always felt like my family. I just always felt when I was at home, I was never seen, I was never loved, I was never anything. So it's always weird when I would go to her house. It was like the total opposite. And so for so many times, for so many months, it just years, it just felt so uncomfortable being like, these people are like, say they love me, they care for me. And I don't know how to deal with it, because her family's so beautiful. She has such a beautiful, wholesome family. When I go over there for family parties, everybody's talking to everybody. Everybody's laughing with everybody. So it was like a very unusual thing to be a part of, because I'm so used to the complete opposite. But as I started to grow feelings for her, for my partner, like I was so happy because I was thinking like, this is a bonus. This is incredible. I get her and I get to be part of this little family. Her daughter is beautiful. We're all like best friends. Like we all love doing everything together. We all love watching the movies together. Like we all love going out to eat. All the simple basic stuff, which is so weird when you're like in a healthy family, beautiful relationship, how fun the most simplest things can be. Like we go to the movies so often and it always feels like it's a fucking party. We go to the liquor store, we get gushers, we get snacks, we get candy, I get some drinks, and then the daughter sneaks in the candy, I sneak in my drinks for me and my girl, and we're all chilling, having a good time. We go out to eat somewhere afterwards. Sometimes we go to a steakhouse, we go to like a Korean barbecue, and everything's just so beautiful. And the fact that, I've had so many moments with the daughter where like we'll go to Circle K, I'm going to buy her chips, and we're just talking about music. We're just talking about like memes on Instagram. We're talking about like just stuff we saw because she loved this one band called Tokyo Hotel, right? And it's weird also. I'm kind of like, what's it called? Yapping too much. Or I'm kind of like maybe getting off topic to what the original question was, but I'm just talking about like all the things that I've experienced, like embracing someone's child, all the beautiful memories, all the beautiful moments that I've experienced that people might be like, oh no, it's another man's child. That they're kind of like, they're not allowing themselves to feel or to experience these beautiful moments just because they have this weird idea of like, okay, this is someone else, another man's kid, right? Like I said, it's also the girl you love's daughter, right? It's also her as well. You know what I mean? If you love your girl, you should love her daughter or son just as much, right? Like I've had so many moments where, like I said, there was a part of her life where she loved this band, Tokyo Hotel. It's like a German band, right? And then we'd stay up, me, her, and her mom, just watching Tokyo Hotel documentaries, listening to albums, listening to songs, watching live concerts. And then she went through like an emo phase, and then we would go to Hot Topic to buy her chains, to buy her earrings, and then she had this little phase where she would wear like all black, and then she loved to wear like a dress with all black and wear like eyeliner, and then she got out of that phase, and then she got into like a Forever 21 phase, and then just seeing someone change, seeing someone grow, and then especially when they're 8 years old when I first met her. And seeing like she's still a little baby, like she's got like a little baby voice, she talks super high pitch, right? And then as like now she's like 12, right? So she's still not even a fucking teenager, but seeing her personality develop is been fucking crazy. Where she's like a little baby, she's super silly, super cute. Where now she's like kind of like has this personality. She's very confident to it sometimes, and she is like she can roast a little bit, she can talk back like in a very funny way, but she's still super sweet and respectful and kind and sweet, and she respects her mother so much. And just seeing that, there's so many layers that I've experienced just being open to somebody and their daughter and their kid, that I feel like, dude, if you're a guy and if you really care about your partner, you really love your partner, and if they have a kid, like, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're hurting yourself in life because you're losing the experience that is very beautiful. And also, I will say this. I will also say that there are some bad kids, and that is the truth. Some kids are a little bad, and I think I was blessed to have a partner that has a beautiful, beautiful child with a beautiful personality, with a very loving and bubbly personality, right? But it's also has to do with the mother too. Like, my partner is one of the greatest mothers that I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen a mother and daughter relationship like that. Or it's like they're, sometimes I forget that it's mother and daughter because they're best friends. They just laugh, they talk, they respect each other. They talk about everything and anything. And then, like, it's never forgotten that she's a mother. Like, there's never a layer of like disrespect. Like, the daughter is never like talking back to the mom or saying like, do this for me or do this or what the fuck, right? There's always a level of respect, but there's always like, I feel like she feels safe and she feels safe around her. And has to do with my girlfriend. The fact that she's such a beautiful mother, that she's able to provide this safe space for her daughter to freely be completely herself. Where she can feel, where she can be and like anything and express everything. And she doesn't feel like she ever has to hold back. She can like this band. She can like this music. She can like this type of like a fashion. She could want to be like, I want to start dressing emo. I want to start fucking wearing these dresses, and I want to start wearing these chains. And looking back, even, when I talk to her daughter, I am like, bro, okay, some of the chains were a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Some of the chains were a little ridiculous because there was like 7 layers of chains, and they were all fake. They're all like $10. $10 for like 5 chains. They're all terrible. Right? But she felt so good in them. And when I see her mother instill so much confidence in her, it's a very, very beautiful thing. And I'm just like, why would you not want to be a part of that? If you're a dude, right? Why would you not want to be a part of that? And if you're a girl, I think if you're a girl that has a child that's like worried about dating, I think you shouldn't worry. And it's easy to say as a guy, but I'm just saying, like, if a guy, especially as we get older, if there's a guy that's like, oh, I don't want to have a girl with a kid, I'm like, all right, bro, then that's almost like grow up a little bit. Like, grow up. Fucking, you're stupid. For me, I'm like, grow up a little bit. You know what I mean? Just grow up. And also, if you're a girl, I feel like you don't even want to. Yeah, I don't want to fucking do it. Yeah, maybe it's good that they're like, oh, I don't want to do that, because you want to weed out the losers almost. You want to weed out the losers a little bit, because a real mature. Not saying I'm a mature man. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm stupid as fuck. But I'm just saying, other men who embrace a woman and their child, they're very mature and great men, and they can see the beauty in it. And seeing someone and their daughter and son or whatever it may be. I don't even know if did that answer the question? Let me see what the question was. I feel like I just kind of like ranted for a little bit. What am I? Because, like, listen, I'm not a parent, and I try to be a parent. I try to provide, and I try to talk to her and make her feel comfortable. And I think she does. I think she is. I think she's very comfortable around me, because we laugh, we say anything. She tells me everything. I feel like she tells me a lot, right? But I'm also still like, I never, I know I'm not the dad also. I never try to overstep boundaries and be like, oh, I'm your dad. Because the dad is still in the picture. So sometimes people feel like, oh, the dad might like the dad is not in the picture, so you got to step up or whatever. But sometimes the dad is in the picture. They're just separated, right? And also some fools can handle that. Some fools can be like, oh, I don't even want to talk to the real dad. If the dad's a chill dude, what's the fucking problem here? What's the problem? You know, like why hate on another? Why dislike a dude just because he's the father of this kid? It's like what's the fucking problem? If he's cool and he's cool with you, if he's chill, then what's the fucking problem? You know what I mean? Just focus on developing a beautiful relationship with the child. Like I feel like I have, and like I said, I feel like I've been blessed because the child is so incredible. That she's so beautiful. She's so funny. She's so, and it's like her laughter is so infectious. It's like it's adorable, and she's so smart and she's so bright, just like her mother. And it's easy just to fall in love with both of them. It's easy to be around them and just feel like, damn, I feel safe too. I feel amazing too. It's easy. You know what I mean? But if I were to have the mentality of like, what the fuck? You had a kid? Hell no, man. What the fuck? I don't fuck with that shit, man. That's somebody else's kid. Then, all right, then go be alone. Go be a fucking loser. I mean, you can maybe find somebody else that doesn't. Maybe that's just a preference. Maybe you just don't want someone that has a kid. But it's like, grow the fuck up, man. Like, I don't know. It's I just feel like it's very, very incredible, beautiful, and I'm very blessed, you know, because like I said, and I feel like I feel like I'm ranting, but I feel like I just have so many thoughts are racing at the same time about this topic that it might be, I might sound maybe repetitive, but do we just have such a blast, such a good time, and I wouldn't want any man to lose out on an opportunity to feel what I feel, just because they have, just because I don't know. Other things that they've been told to not get involved with someone with a kid or other ideas about women with kids or I don't know. Or if someone with a baby daddy, they think like it's what the fuck? It's like, dude, grow up a little bit, man. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's incredible. To all the single mothers, like I said, being a single mother is hard, man. It's incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard, man. Seeing what they have to go through. Like raising a kid by yourself. Oh. Like the dad's been in the picture. And even that's hard, right? I can't imagine a girl with a child that has like a deadbeat dad, that the dad doesn't want anything to do with both of them. All the time, like trying to make money, trying to start a career, or just trying to live life. Trying to do anything while you have a child and you're getting no help, especially from your partner. Maybe he just left and didn't want to raise a child or whatever reason, but so much time. It takes so much out of you to raise a baby. Just even giving birth to a baby. It takes so much out of you, so much of your body, so much of your mental and emotional strength. And when you deliver that baby, and then afterwards, like if you don't get the support you need from a partner, like it can be incredibly devastating. It can be just so traumatic. Like all the little things, like for me, and I talked in a live before this podcast about like, I don't think I want a kid, my own kid. One, because I feel like I've been blessed to have like a partner that has a beautiful child that I feel fulfilled but even now, like I'm thinking about like, oh my God, one day you're going to be 18 and you're just going to leave. And I'm like, what the fuck? I never even thought about shit like that. Like, but I just love her so much where I'm like, okay, like we have such a beautiful relationship and a beautiful friendship, but one day you have to go to college and you're fucking smart. You're going to go to college and then you're going to leave. And then I'm going to be like, fuck. And then when I think about that, I'm like, fuck, I want my own kid, because then I want those feelings where I love somebody so much and it's so pure. But also I think about like all the things that go into raising a kid, all the things you have to give up, all the things that will change in your life. For me, I think I'm a guy that likes to be selfish. And I'm being honest here. I like to be selfish. I like to live my life a certain way. And I like to, if I want to dedicate this much time to do this. Like in a day, maybe I have to do work on something for 2 days straight, and then maybe I'm very busy for 2 days straight. Like I'll still see my girl and I talk to her daughter, talk to both on FaceTime, but sometimes I'll just be gone, like working. But then I'll still make time for them throughout the week. But if you have a baby, like those first couple of years, I don't know. Because I know foods, especially the guys that are very busy, that like to travel a lot too, that they'll be gone on the weekend and they're like, I'm doing this for the family. I'm doing this for us. And part of that is probably true. But also they're also just being selfish too. They're also being incredibly selfish, like being gone and being like, hey, listen, you're there with the baby, right? Raise a child. And maybe some girls want to do that, but I'm just saying to be like, hey, raise a child in the middle of the night when the baby starts crying, wake up, be without sleep, and do this and do that for the baby and do this and do that. And I'm going to go out there and do my own thing and have a blast and be working or something I care about and loving my life. And then coming back home and then being like, what's going on here? What's up? How y'all doing? Like, I can't do that if I have a fucking kid. I have to be home. I'd want to be home as much as I can. I wouldn't want to be fucking out and about. I'd want to be helping my girl raise a kid, but I would be conflicted because I'd want to be out there doing my work and doing this, doing that. And then I feel like, and like this is what I said in the Instagram live. I feel like if I had a kid, I've always wanted to be a girl dad, like have my own girls. And that's because my mom had only boys, right? And then when my brother had my niece, it's almost like my mom and my parents were just like, oh my God, we have a girl, right? And for me, that always stuck with me. So I saw my niece as like a gift, and I wanted, and the relationship and friendship we have, me and my niece, it's so beautiful, it's so incredible that it's almost weird to call her my niece because I feel like she's like my little sister, right? Because she's also been, she grew up with us and she was raised in our house. So for me to call her my niece is so weird sometimes because sometimes we'll talk and be like, it's kind of crazy you're my uncle. And I'm like, yeah, because I just feel like you're like my little sis, my bro, my sis, like you're my home dog, playboy, you're my dog, right? And then she's like, yeah, bro, yes. And I'm like, and seeing her and how much she changed, like my parents, she also made them like softer people. Like especially my dad. Like my dad became a much softer person after my niece was born, and then that made me want to just be like, okay, I want like 4 girls. I want 3 or 4 girls. I want to be a girl dad for sure. But now as I got older and there's a certain lifestyle, certain things I want to build for myself and my little family. And like I said, my daughter or not my stepdaughter, but my girlfriend's daughter is at an age where she's still fucking a kid. She's still 12. She's 12. She's a kid. But she's now like at the age where like, you gotta worry about her every single second. Like, what is she doing? And she better not fall off it. Where is she? Where is she? We gotta hold on to her. She's in our sight every 24 hours of the day. She's in our sight. And then we have to make sure she sleeps. And when she wakes up in the middle of the night, we have to be there and make sure, and we have to hear her cry for hours and hours and hours and she won't fall asleep. And then it makes you go crazy because you're so exhausted and you're so tired from the night before from not getting enough sleep, from maybe trying to get some work done, and you're so exhausted and your baby starts crying at 1 a.m, right when you're fucking trying to go to bed, and then doesn't stop crying till 4 or 5 a.m. Then maybe you have to go to work in the morning, and that's when the baby falls asleep and you're just like, fuck, I'm fucking exhausted. Like I hear horror stories, not even horror stories, it's just the reality of having a baby, stories like that. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. I can do that. I don't know. I would hate my life. And that might sound cruel. That might sound terrible to say that, but I think it's just being honest. And I think maybe people don't think about that before they have a kid. I think they just think like they romanticize the idea, which is kind of beautiful, of course, but like what it takes from you. Like your new life, like can you adjust to that new life? I don't know if I'd be able to adjust. I think I would be fucking depressed, and it would be very conflicting to be like, I have a child, yes, and I love him, but I'm not happy. And am I not happy because of this child? Like what it took from me? And that's also being selfish too, because it's also like, what about my girl? Like she's going through some crazy shit, like having a baby, delivering a baby. That takes a lot of her. So it's just having that realization as I got older, it kind of made me sad. Like even now, it kind of made me sad the fact that I probably won't have my own kid. I wouldn't say never, but I'm just saying like for like at least 10 more years, I don't think I'd have my own kid. But then I'm like, I'll be fucking 40. I'll be 40 years old. And am I going to be, but then it's like, am I going to be 40 and then be like, am I going to be 45 and then be like, okay, now it's time to have a child. I want to be 45. My kid's 10. I'm 55. 65. Listen, my partner had her daughter pretty young, like 17, 18, right? Yes. And I almost feel like if I were to have a kid, I wish I would have had it that young at the same time. Because like when me and my girl we're 30 now, when we're like when we're like 10 more years, when we're 40, like her daughter's gonna be 22. Like we're still young as fuck, motherfucker. We're still young as fuck. Like I know 40 is still young, but I'm saying like 40-year-old and she's 22. Like that's not that big of a gap. Like we're still gonna hang out. We're still gonna vibe. We're still gonna do this. We're still gonna do that. It's gonna be a good ass time, and I can't wait till she gets older where we can all fucking chill and vibe and fucking be grown ups and talk about life and it's funny. We do that now. We talk about life and fucking movies and fucking art and music and but I'm fucking ranting. But I'm just saying. And hopefully this episode is decent or it's good so far. Maybe it's terrible, but I am just saying that it kind of made me sad having that realization that I don't think I would have my own kid. But also it made me happy to have that realization because I don't want to be depressed. I'd rather be depressed about not having a kid than being depressed and then fucking seeing your little baby and you having to raise this motherfucker and being like, I don't want to do this. Because that is a scary place to be. And that is that would make someone go crazy. And I feel like I would fucking go crazy. Okay, someone also asked, Cubberly asked, talk about things that keep you up at night. Things that occurred during your childhood or teen years that make you cringe as an adult now. That's interesting. There are some things that keep me up at night sometimes. And it's not maybe some... There's a lot of things that occurred when I was younger. But there are some things that... I'll say this. Okay. How do I say this? It's not even that deep, what I'm about to say. So I was Jehovah's Witness for a long time. And this is something that does keep me up at night sometimes. And especially when I was younger, like 19, it kept me up. I would have like almost like panic attacks. So when I was younger, I was Jehovah's Witness for almost 20 years, right? I really got out like at 18, 19 when I started going to college. And the reason I was able to get out completely was because like I didn't have to come home. I was at school, right? I would go to Pasadena, which is near where I live. I can just drive there and just stay there. Before I was in my mom's house. So she was a boss of me. So I didn't have a car, I didn't have anything. I have nowhere to be. So I would just be home at all times. So she would be like, we're going to church, and I would try to lock myself up. And then I would try to lock myself in the restroom and then try to just like be like, oh, I'm going to shower and just never get out of the restroom. Especially like as I was nearing the age of 18, because I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. But when you're a Jehovah's Witness, you believe that once the rapture comes, you will be saved and you will rebuild earth into the paradise. And then you and other former Jehovah's Witnesses that have passed, people that have believed in Jesus and believed in Jehovah and followed his word, will live on forever in paradise. And it'll be a beautiful thing. And all these animals will live side by side by humans, and humanity and animals will all share this one beautiful world, and we'll be able to live on happily ever after, right? So I believed that for my whole life. So I remember when I left the church, I wasn't even thinking about that, right? when I left the church, I left and it was like a big ordeal. It was kind of complicated. I lost a lot of friends and they weren't allowed to speak to me because I was a bad influence. I was a bad kid. And that's when you realize the church can be very hypocritical because they preach about loving people, accepting people. But then when you have other ideas, and it wasn't like, oh, I believe in some other thing. It was just like, how do we know like what we believe is true? It was just having basic questions that you should have when you believe something your whole life and you become 16, 17, and you're starting to think a little bit on your own and you're realizing you're asking all these elders from the church, like, how do we know this is the right religion? Because I've only believed this and there's other people that believe their religion to be true. How do I know this is the right one, right? Simple questions like that start making you look at other people, other religions, and being like, well, for some people, it's just basically what you're born into, and that becomes the truth, and that becomes truth, right? But if you're born in another part of the world, that religion is your truth. You're born over here, that religion is your truth. You be Christian, you grew up in a Christian family, you're a Christian. You're Muslim, you grew up in the Middle East, you can be Muslim or whatever, right? Whatever. So I'm like, that's very interesting, right? And then when you start questioning some stuff, they start looking at you like, is something wrong with you? Has something entered your mind? Has something planted some satanic ideologies in your mind? And you're just like, bro, I'm just asking questions, man. I don't know shit. I'm just asking questions. I'm just saying, how do we know, right? So basically, I left the church. And I remember, I was playing Xbox with my cousin. And then for some reason, it just hit me. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to die. And I don't know why. I was playing Xbox and I kind of I felt like tears coming out of my eyes. I was like, am I really fucking crying right now? And I was on Xbox Live with my cousin. We were playing like Halo or something. And then I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, oh my God. I'm going to die one day. I'm going to die. I'm going to get old and die and just die. And then remember, I was like, I was still playing Xbox. And I was like, hey guys, I think I don't feel good. I'm gonna leave. And they're like, what the fuck? And then I turned off the Xbox. And I remember, like, I was getting some anxiety. And then I remember just going to my bed and then laying down, or at the couch rather, going to the couch and laying down. And then I was just looking up at the ceiling. I couldn't shake it. I was trying to turn off my mind. And I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna die. For my whole life, I always thought I was going to live forever in paradise with my other Jehovah's Witness family, people that have passed away, family members that have passed away. My mom was like telling these stories of how she's going to see these brothers that passed away, these family members that passed away, and that made me excited. I was going to see this, and I was going to see my family young, like my grandma young. I was going to see her young. And when I realized that is not going to happen, because that idea was very beautiful. That idea was incredible. It's beautiful. It kind of it's easy to latch on to the idea, and that could be a driving factor as to why you might even join a church or a religion. Because obviously, who wouldn't want to see their parents young, especially if they're passed away? Who wouldn't want another? Who wouldn't want to live forever with them, with their grandparents, with their loved ones, with their friends, and live on forever, be side by side by animals, and live happily ever after? Who wouldn't want that, right? But when I realized that it was never happening, I fucking started crying. I'm not gonna lie, I started crying, and because I felt like I realized I had to deal with my mortality for the first time in my life, when I thought I would never have to do that. I felt like even if I die, I was going to come back. And it sounds crazy to say because I don't believe this at all anymore. Like that I'm like the paradise and all these ideas that I was fed and I was part of this religion that were a big thing. But when I had to do my mortality for the first time, it just shook me to my core. And all these thoughts like, I'm never going to see this person again. I'm never going to talk to this person again. There's going to be a point in my life where I'm going to look at myself in the mirror. I'm going to be an old man. And then people are going to die around me. People that I love are going to die. and then my parents are gonna die, and it was starting to all hit me like, fuck, my parents are gonna die and I'm never gonna see them again. My dad's gonna die, my mom's gonna die, my friends are gonna die, and I'm never, ever, ever gonna see them again. I'm never gonna have a chance to go out to eat with them, to laugh with them, to fucking skateboard with them, to fucking do anything with them, to see them. It was just hitting me hard. I remember I was like crying, and I was like, holy shit. It was almost like the weight of it felt so heavy. It was like it was building in my subconscious almost. It was almost like a building up for 16, 17 years. And it all just, the realization just hit me. My chest just felt like it fell into my heart just fell into my chest, into my lungs. And I couldn't even fucking breathe. It felt like I was having a fucking panic attack. Because even now, honestly, sometimes I don't think about it now as much anymore because I know I'm going to die. We're all going to die, right? And that's what makes life beautiful. The fact that we're only here for such a short amount of time. But sometimes if I think too hard about it, I am like, fuck, there's a point where I'm never going to be able to see my girl again. I'm never going to see my friends again. And no matter how much I want, like on my deathbed, if I want to be like, please, I just want to see this person again. I want to just one more day with them. It's time. It's over. There's no, it's done. You're done. It's over. Your time is done. That's what still scares me. That if I'm on my deathbed and I know it's coming, the end is coming, my brain is starting to fire all these chemicals, and I know I'm in that process of dying. If I'm like, just one more day, please. Oh my God, I can't even that bums me out. That's still, I'm not gonna lie, that still fucking bums me out. That still stresses me the fuck out. Because goddamn, sometimes, and I've said this before, sometimes I wish we can live like 200 years, man. 200 years. I feel like 60, 70, 80. It's honestly bullshit. It's bullshit how short our lives are. It's fucking bullshit. Oh, you spend your 20s figuring it out, fucking up, and then your 30s, I don't know. You spend your 20s figuring it out, your 20s fucking realizing what you want to do, and you go after it. Your 40s enjoying everything, 50s, whatever. All the shit that they say, right? But I'm like, yeah, but what if I wanted to try fucking doing this one thing for like 20 years? What if I wanted to be a fucking musician for 20 years and then see how far I go with that and then be like, you know what? I think I did everything I wanted to do. I'm going to try over here. I'm going to try this. Like, imagine if we lived to 20 years where we can really go after something, multiple things, because I think, especially someone like me, and I can speak for Malvin as well, we all have multiple passions, right? You might not even think you do, but everybody has multiple passions. Maybe it's not something you want to pursue. Maybe it's not something you want to pursue because we live so fucking short. And you don't want to be, I don't want to waste my time and spend 20 years going after this thing and then realizing, I'm 40 and 50 now, I'm almost going to die, have nothing to show for my life, right? I fucking wish you could live to 200, even 150, and spend 200 years. Spend 20 years chasing after something, and then maybe you feel like you've gotten to the end of where you could possibly take it and be like, let me navigate into this, and then you still have a lot of life, and then you can live 20 years doing that, and then if you love it enough, you can be like, okay, let me keep doing this, and maybe on the side I'll do this. It's like it opens up the world where you can really fucking explore all the avenues of life. If you want to travel and spend years, and if you're homeless or you fucking maybe, I want to move here for a couple of years, I want to move to London for 10 years for the fuck of it, because I have lived 150 years. When you're 60, the average life expectancy is 70 years, like you can't really afford. You can do it, yes, but after like every decade after like 20 or 30 or 40, it's like the deeper you go into your years, every decade it matters so much more, as in like, listen, you got to make sure you fucking do the right things. You don't want to waste your 30s or 40s, especially. You should waste your 20s trying to fuck everything up, but the 30s and 40s, you should really get everything sorted out. But it's like, what if you don't? What What if it's still complicated? What if you still don't know? For some people, you still don't know what you want to do. It takes time. You got to live life, fucking go through experiences, go through heartbreak, go through fucking trials and tribulations, fuck up here, fucking your life has to crumble. You got to hit rock bottom maybe to really figure out what you want to do, to figure out what you want to pursue, who you are as a person. And it sucks that some people, they're hitting rock bottom at 50 or 60. Because I know people that hit rock bottom at 50 or 60 and they spend their whole life just kind of like coasting and going with the flow and not really having a plan. And maybe that should be a telltale sign that, okay, maybe always have a plan, have a goal, something you're working towards. But for some people, it's not that simple. Some people just don't know what they want. And maybe they figure it out, but they're old and they can't really pursue it as hard as they could when they were younger. And just imagine if we could live longer. If we can live longer, 150, like you can wait 40 years, 50 years to really figure out what you want to do. And you still have so much life left. So much life, so much to do, so much. Imagine if your 20s wasn't just the years to fuck up. Imagine if you could fuck up for like 20 years, trying literally everything, every single year. This year I'm this year I'm this year I'm this person, this year I'm this person, I'm this kind of person. Imagine the freedom you would have to really explore life. But unfortunately, that's just not the way life is, man. Fortunately, we only live fucking 60, 70 years. And 80, 90, and even then, those last 10 or 15 years, hopefully you're in a position where you can move good. Maybe you've been lifting weights your whole life. Maybe you can still play with your kids, play with your fucking siblings. Maybe you can still move around decent enough, go walk upstairs. That's another thing too, man. Your body goes to shit. We got to make sure we're taking care of our bodies as well. And I don't know if this podcast wasn't even funny at all, but maybe we're just spitting. We're just chilling. We're just vibing. It just makes me sad, man. Because fuck, if we could live that long, there'd be so much we can do. Maybe I'll fucking, hey, fucking my little family. Let's move somewhere. Fuck, let's move to Texas. Let's move somewhere another part of the country just for like 2 years. And if we don't like it, who gives a fuck? If we don't like it, maybe we'll like it, but maybe we'll just be like, hey, we tried it. We'll go back, and it just literally will. We have so much life still. And you can say that now, yes. If you do it now for 2 years and out of like 60 years, 70 years, it's still not much. But what if you want to fucking go to London, go to fucking the UK, try something crazy? You know? Fuck. And I wonder how life is going to be when we're all old. Primos. 60, 70, 80, 90. What is life going to be like? I think about how I might be like. I think I'm just going to be enjoying the simple things. I think I'm just going to be drinking, going for walks, go for a walk in the morning and be like, okay, that was cool. I'm going to play some music and then I'm going to get fucked up. And because when I'm that old, I can still enjoy life. But I think as you get older, there's a lot more joy from the simpler things. When you're younger, you want to travel, you want to do this, you want to get this job. But I think as you get older, even now, like right now, like sometimes I go out to eat with people that I love. I go to a restaurant and I get so happy just from eating. Just from eating with people that I care about. It's such a blast. The simple act of just eating with people you care about is such a blast. Which something... before this relationship, I was never, I feel like, in a really healthy one. And I feel like this relationship made me really understand and realize how beautiful the simple things in life can be. Even just eating or walking with someone you care about, how much peace that can bring. It's really strange. It's really strange. How like now I'm like, duh, yeah, of course it should feel good. But before I just never felt like just pure, genuine, pure love. I guess that sounds kind of crazy to say. I don't want to make it sad and shit, but I don't know. Just when someone sees you for who you are and they're just like, Yeah, you're beautiful. Even though you don't think you are, you think there's nothing to love about yourself. When someone sees you and they're just like, yeah, you're beautiful. Whatever version of you, you're beautiful. And you're just like, okay, okay. Listen, am I spitting? Am I an idiot? Probably. Is this podcast any good? Listen, I don't know what I'm going to call it. It might not be a full episode. Like I said, why not be a numbered episode? Because I feel like the numbered episodes deserve to be with Malvin. But yeah, man. I don't know if am I spitting? Am I spitting that wisdom? Maybe not. But I mean, damn, I don't know what else to say, man. I think we went down some deep deep routes, deep fucking ideas, I guess. And we went deep into our souls, and I don't know. I just want to say thank you guys for supporting the podcast. Thank you for showing love all the time. Please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe our podcast, please. It helps out a lot. It makes us feel happy. It makes us feel like we're doing something good. And hit up Malvin. Tell him you miss him. Tell him you love him. Some people want guests instead of the solo stuff. I can see why, but sometimes I feel nervous inviting people to my house because yeah, you know what I'm saying. But let me know. Like I said, let me know how you feel about these solo episodes, because I am trying to get better at these, and I do enjoy them. Honestly, I do enjoy them. So maybe I could do more. There won't be like I said, numbered episodes. So the numbered episodes would be with just Melvin. And also, let me know if you want to see a solo episode from Melvin as well, because I've told him, like, hey, you should do a solo episode, just about whatever you want to talk about, whatever the people want to hear from you, and yeah, I think that'll be good too. So let me know. Leave it in the comments, man. Comment down below. Bing bang boom. We love you. Thank you guys so much. Bye.